Hello Internet, as I promised yesterday, I'll be making the Nanaimo bars today. So the first step in the recipe, which is high-tech cookbook by the way, laptop with the memory stick and everything, which means I don't have to deal with my handwriting so much. I need to go into the fridge and get the butter. Where did I put it? Oh, it's already over here. Right. Now I don't like using name brands for the show because they don't pay me even when I do. Silly Pepsi and everything else. So, melt half a cup of this stuff. Half a cup. Hang on. Yep, half a cup of this in a pot. So, come take a look at the pot. Put it on low heat because it would have burned the butter. Now, watching butter melt is kind of like watching paint dry in reverse, so I won't show you that. I'll just get dropped in there and get this wrapper off. Well, we could have wrapper in the Nanaimo bars, I suppose, but it wouldn't taste very good, would it? It's already starting to slide around a wee bit. Stove is on nice low flame, and you want to completely liquid before you do the next step, which will take a bit of time. So now, as if by magic, the butter is completely melted. So I need some room to maneuver now, please. We can add the other ingredients that go into the bottom, starting with a third of a cup of cocoa. And I don't have any name brands because it's measuring cup cocoa, we'll call it that. And sugar, which doesn't have a name brand because it's bloody sugar, who cares? Stir that round a bit. Where's my stirring thingy? Oh, put it here. Right. Want to stir it, get a good look at this. It'll go from that nice buttery mess we saw earlier to, well, looks like the makings of fudge or brownies perhaps, but they don't put flour in this. Smells rather interesting too. Then we want to add eggy white gradually, and due to time constraints and the price of laundry detergent, I have beaten eggy white and put it in a bowl beforehand, right there. Fold that in gently with the whole eggy white, preferably a large one. Stir it in a bit at a time, because this is tricky stuff, and if you don't get it homogeneous, it will do very weird things to the mix, as it learned last time I made this stuff. Add a bit more, and then stir it for 1 or 2 minutes until it thickens, as it says on my wonderful electronic cookbook. So it looks like this now. And it's starting to feel a bit thicker already, but let's give it some time. I'd rather not stop shooting at the moment because I don't want to miss the transition. It's pretty key. I could just sit down in an armchair and tell you how to make this, but you'd go, what? I need visuals. As I would if I was on that side. So, it's starting to thicken, it's sticking to the bottom a bit. You can see how slowly it comes off the spatula. I suppose the most important part of cooking this is getting the salmonella out of the eggs. Not that I bought eggs with salmonella in them, I'm pretty sure that you have to put a label on the box if there's salmonella in them. It's starting to leave bigger clumps in the bottom of the pot. I'm not sure I'd call that quite thickened yet, but it is getting harder to move the spatula through it. And if you get it too hard, you end up with the sort of chocolatey version of scrambled eggs, and I don't think that you're supposed to put that in the bottom of an Nanaimo bar. A bit of trivia about the town where these came from. They seem to like racing bathtubs for some reason. No idea why. I don't know how it works. Do they do it in the summer with wheels, or do they do it in the winter with the drain plugged up and then they just slide down a hill of snow on, or what? Don't know the population of it. I'm sure I'll look it up and tell you later. Yeah, I'd call that thickened, I think. How about you? Any ideas?
Well, I think you got to scrape the bottom, and it does take a little while to thicken. Maybe let it sit for a while too.
Alright, well, Again, this would be like actually this is like watching paint dry the forward way around this time rather than reverse. So I think that will be enough for now. Alright, very important thing you have to remember about mixing this stuff up is that it will form small lumps if it's cooked for too long, so you don't want to do that. Now the recipe calls for a certain amount of vanilla extract. How much? It wants a whole teaspoon. Lovely. I understand it makes it quite flammable. Or that's something else. Right. Don't pour it over it because it will over-flavor it if you spill. And the countertop can be easily cleaned, especially because these ones are made of nice rock. Nice, smooth, polished rock, which sort of cleans itself. Right. Now, because I'm a responsible chef, I'm going to wash this food because, you know, other people have to use it after me. That's the sink. Right. So stir that in a bit. And then it calls for the bits that actually make it starchy. Because right now you're just leaving a chocolate glob. But in a bit, it's going to want a bunch of graham cracker crumbs, a bunch of coconut, and some walnuts or pecans. I prefer pecans myself. So we'll start with the graham cracker crumbs. The thing wants 2 cups. So I'll get back to getting the graham crackers out because I don't want to show you guys any name brands. Now, I'm about as averse to showing you guys name brands as I am to sunlight, so here are graham crackers. Now, they want to be chopped up, and I have a nice food processor for that. So we break this thing open, if it wants to open. I actually wanted to try this with Oreo crumbs, but we don't have any Oreos. And I'd rather just stick to the recipe I know works for this thing. Experiment later.
And they're a name brand.
Well, yeah, they also make chocolate sandwich cookies. So you don't have to not to assume that they're Oreos, although Oreos are the traditional favorite. You just line them up in there like the traitors they are. And I'm about ready to pass sentence. This is quite torturous for them. They get spun round and round and round with blades, and you try dodging blades in a blender, doesn't work. So let's speed that down a bit, because you can fit more in here, I know that for a fact. The recipe wants 2 cups, so I have to go quite a ways. Two cups, by the way, is about half of one of the normal sized packages you can buy at the store. I'm not going to even tell you which store because, again, they're not going to pay me. Alright, now, what is it? Alright, Graham Fawkes, you've been charged that on the 5th of November, I forget the year, you've attempted to blow up His Majesty the King James I and most of Parliament with some gunpowder. You've been found guilty, and do you have any last words? No, you're graham crackers, you don't have any last words. Alright, now to carry out the sentence. You'll be taken from this place and blended into tiny bits. And you see how just a little bit of pulsing with this does a lot of work. I don't need to show you the rest because, well, that sentencing gag gets old fast.